together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. And now you wanna see me fall. From a quarter mile, I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it up, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, 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 oblivion. I'm going in. Fall into oblivion. Fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, 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 oblivion. I'm going in.
Hello. Welcome everybody to CEA Siege. Tonight we have a great matchup ahead of us. This will be week 7 Invite League. We have Virginia Tech versus Arizona State. It's going to be very good. Joining me tonight, we are going to be observed by Kaiser. I'm Blue Card, your caster, and I'm joined by Keldav.
Yo,
Keldav,
yo.
how are you feeling?
I am feeling great. Just had a nice cup of tea and a piece of chocolate, and I'm ready and energized for the night. How about you?
I've been looking forward to this all week. Honestly, I'm hoping this is going to be a really good matchup ahead of us. Virginia and Arizona, both very close in their divisions. Arizona State is currently second in their division, with Virginia following just ever so slightly, just being a single point behind them in third. But this matchup tonight is going to decide who ends up with that second place position in this division. So I'm expecting a really good matchup ahead of us.
Oh yeah, a lot is on the line here for both teams. Gonna want to kind of end out on a higher place in the division, so both teams really looking here to just take it all here and get them bragging rights.
Oh yes, definitely. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into our first map here, which is gonna be Cafe. And the second map coming later on is going to be Villa. Just in case you wanted that little heads up, I'll get that out there now. But we'll be going to Cafe first, with Arizona banning their first attacker, which is going to end up being the Thatcher off the board. Thatcher being a pretty common ban. We've seen him banned a lot. I'm pretty sure he's one of the top majority bans for the attacking side.
Yeah, Thatcher is just able to speed up the attack so much, allowing the teams to not have to, kind of resort to different plans like, oh, let me just bring an IQ and have to go below, shoot out the bandit charges, and just really stall a lot of time out by doing so. So Thatcher, a really good ban to get off the bat here. Actually, probably one of the more kind of, I would say, slept on bans to be using, but like you said, probably one of the more common ones that ends up getting brought out every single time.
Yeah, he's been a lot more commonplace in the bans recently. But here we see Virginia answering back, banning both the Spanish operators here. Jackal and Mira off the board, both pretty common bans. Jackal, since the rework, has definitely seen a drop in ban rate, but he still is really good at clearing out the roamers with his foot scanner, his eye on top of his head there. And Mira just changed the meta when she was introduced and is still an operator to be feared. But ASU to close out the bans with the Echo. Again, a pretty standard ban. He's one of those operators he's actually the most banned operator from defense and attack in invite total. So if that tells you anything about him.
And it looks like picks are going to be coming in. Very, very generic bans coming out. But that's just because they're just so good operators to be brought out here. Looks like we will be seeing some Mozzie play coming in from Zerfon. Going to be on the Roman, but using that gadget just to deny all the information coming in from Virginia Tech. And of course, Virginia Tech going to be bringing in the IQ and Buck as well. Going to be trying to get rid of anything onto the walls they need to breach and kind of secure more objectives for themselves a lot more quicker.
Yeah, Mozzie, probably one of the strongest defending operators just in general. He's so well rounded. He's got a really good primary, outputs a lot of damage. The super shorty is a secondary, which can help make rotate holes or sight lines, which you'll probably hear in just a second. Is very important up top on top site here, opening up all those counters. But he's also got that Nitro as his secondary gadget for vertical play, so he can play below and deny the plant without even having to come back up the site. And his primary gadget denies intel, which is just huge in Siege. Everything revolves around intel. That's why that's why drone economy is so important in competitive play.
Yeah, and you'll see attackers just end up stalling out a lot of time, trying to focus on that intel. And not only that, but when the lack of intel starts to come in, they'll end up having to push a little bit more slower and pace themselves out a lot more longer to clear out almost every single angle, as they may not know where exactly a defender may be setting up for, and in the end it just makes things turn into a big disaster. So Mozzie is going to be a really big pick here.
Yeah, the IQ though is going to have to be one of the operators, they have to look out for her scanner on her wrist there, being able to get rid of just an amplitude of gadgets. Cade's Electro Claw, Jaeger's ADSs, the pest that Mozzie does place down, all susceptible to her gadget, as well as a really good primaries. You got a couple of good primaries, the 5.52 and the LMG there. Ever since it got the angled grip, we've seen a lot more play with it. As well, people have just kind of been entering with IQ. You don't see her on her scanner much, even though it is so good. They'd rather just frag out, which it does work. Here we see 6, though, on Skylight, going to be tossing a nade into Freezer. That's to clear the Electroclaw off the Freezer wall. Now you can see it's no longer electrocuted. Definitely a good use for that gadget there. His utility, considering there is no Thatcher on the board. And Bookshelf's already going to have Piano under their control. This is going to be actually a pretty quick push coming out here from Virginia. Being sure to drone, make sure they're not going to get picked from any tight angles.
And you can see here, trying to push onto the bathroom side, but there is someone on the side of ASU, which is Viral, hiding inside that bathroom, using the electrified wall as well to kind of keep himself safe. Actually, I think he may have backed out, because that outline looks like it ran away. But either way, they will get open the, it looks like, yeah, the freezer there, as it does look like Viral ended up rotating out, possibly through the freezer, as he did have himself a rotation, keeping himself safe and going to be able to kind of pick his angles a lot differently.
Yeah, we're already 2 minutes into the round here, just about, and it's still a 5v5. There's no damage been done. All ops are still on the board. A lot of utility has been exchanged back and forth here. You saw Zoph impact the Evil Eye, trying to get some of that intel off the board. Some flashes going out from the Thermite. The defenders are really just holding tight here in Cocktail. Actually, it looks like an ADS caught Zoph's impact, so the Evil Eye is going to stay up. That's going to be huge for the defense to have that intel to call out where the attackers push in from or where they decide to plant, so that Mozzie playing below can just wreak havoc with that Nitro. But just being very, very careful here. 35 seconds left on the clock, still no damage done. 5v5, this is going to be a very hectic last 30 seconds, but it's going to be Bookshelf to find the first frag onto Alex, and he's actually going to answer with another onto Bach as well. That's the Doc and Kate off the board. A lot of ACOG's gone. Zerfon, though, pushing up White Stairs is going to find another. 6 is going to find a third. And Kyramer with a fourth. It's not now just a Viral on the Jaeger. He's going to try to push up Red Stairs. But in a 1v4 post-plant scenario, it's going to be tough to accomplish here, especially with a Gridlock and her utility doing some damage, but that's not going to stop Viral from finding the frag to Kyramer. That's the Gridlock off the board. But 6, the Buck, all the way in Piano, is going to find the pick and end the round and close it out for Virginia.
Yeah, really good push on the side of Virginia Tech there. You could really see, like, towards the end of the round, they had a lot of drones still left alive, and a lot of them were being used. A lot of intel being spread around their team to kind of give them an idea of how to push, and the execute from Virginia Tech just worked out really well for them, as they did end up on the plus side of all those frags, leaving it just down to the side of Firewall to be able to pull off a clutch. But unfortunately, there's just so many attackers left alive. The odds are very low in that situation, and he did the best he could, and unfortunately did not get himself a win. But they will still be able to bring it back again onto third floor bar on the bright side.
Yeah, that round looked like it was going a little bit slow, but Virginia was actually keeping a really nice pace there, taking Piano almost instantly, getting the Electroclaw off the Freezer, opening up Freezer, and getting in a position where they could watch the flanks, they could cover the plant, and they could get so many quick picks in succession. That was just a really beautiful setup from Virginia Tech, and they set the dominoes up and they pushed them down, and that's why it seemed like a slow round, but it was overall a really good setup from Virginia.
Yeah, and now it looks like from the side of ASU, they're going to be trading off the Mozzie and bringing in the Goyo. And of course, new to the season, but such a dominant operator already. Even if the strategies for the shields aren't, 100% amazing for some of them, they still, in the end, can just stall out for so much time on their own, and also just drain the utility of the attackers, as the attacker is going to need to blow up those using soft breaches, and that, let's see here, we got Sophia and the Buck going to be able to get them out on the side of the attackers. That's going to end up being all the impacts, and probably one of the Buck grenades, just to take down all 3. And that's assuming that none of them have a Jaeger ADS to also cover it as well. And that alone will end up just causing so much pressure on VT from the loss of utility and loss of time that they have to spend focusing on the shield.
Yeah, it was actually a really smart call from Arizona to bring that Goyo, realizing that Virginia is pushing at the very last few seconds, just being able to blow a couple shields just to slow them and not allow them to push in those last few. It is just a really smart play. Also, a really smart play is having Jaeger and actually Goyo here trying to hold Piano for just a little bit longer, trying not to give Virginia. Access to Piano right away. Gonna try to slow him down a little bit, but that's not gonna stop Virginia from taking Red
Oh my
Stairs
goodness.
and Cigar. You see an impact from the Zof go out, try to get the shield, but it's not quite gonna connect as the Jaeger ADS finds it. But
There's
the
a second one.
impact's gonna get eaten up as well. The Zof's just gonna push in anyways, do lots of damage onto the Jaeger and Goyo, split evenly, so both are still above 50%, but Bookshelf is just pushing in hard there, and well, they Bookshelf's got the defense out of Piano.
Oh yeah, and you can already see here just the amount of utility drained out of the Zofia. That was 2 impact grenades at the cost of no Goyo shields in the end there. And I do believe they had to use possibly the buck grenade to get it out finally. And it looks like Goyo's gonna be hiding inside of this bathroom here. Gonna see if he could possibly be able to pull something off here. Looks like Alex will be taking down 6 from above or from below here, using Doc as well. Rotation hole already getting made used here from the Maestro as well. Seeing into the site, giving out some callouts. Zerfon at the end of White Hall, gonna be able to see if he can get a shot off across the hall.
Already looking like a very different round from last round, is Virginia's kind of stalling out already. They don't have freezer open left, and there's only a minute left, and the Goyo was misdroned in bathroom. That's Firewall gonna find Bookshelf, and Bookshelf has been an insane fragger for Virginia Tech so far. With him off the board, now they know Firewall's in bathroom. They're gonna have to try to push him out or go for a cigar take. You see Parcel rotating down underneath the final frag onto Alex, playing the Doc, trying to even the odds just a little bit more, but Arizona State still has the man advantage here. See the Evil Eye doing just a little bit of damage onto Felorian. That's the Thermite. Just every little tick of damage here is going to count, because if he goes for the plant, they can do fewer bullets is going to take to down him.
Oh yeah, and at this point too, they're out of soft reach. Those cams are going to survive unless they get shot out. And Turfon gonna take down Kyramer right there, and looks like the plan will be going off, but no, the Maestro cam's just coming in clutch, starting blasting. Parcel trying to just send it at the very last second here, but unfortunately the ASU will stop them from being able to push any further, with Tuller here taking him down in the hallway.
Yeah, Parcel there almost bringing it back ever so slightly with a quick 2-piece on top White Stairs, but unfortunately she faced the Alda, and well, 81 bullets is more than 51. Maestro had more bullets there to spray and lock it down, and well, he sat IQ down as she unfortunately ran out of bullets, turning to the Maestro. Tried to duck out of it, but just couldn't quite do it. It's amazing how different those last 2 rounds were. Virginia Tech taking the first round looks like professionals there, clearing it out, setting it all up, and pushing, and having almost a really good push, almost a flawless round. Compared to that second round, that early pick from the Doc below really kind of turned the tides there, as it slowed the push down, as well as the Jaeger and the Goyo shields, just slowing the push, kind of making them run out of steam, use a lot of utility so they can't use that later, and it really just shut them right down.
Oh yeah, and you can see how they just got stalled out in there. The Maestro cams sitting on both sides to kind of give out intel, locked on their position, and at that point too, with Zofia out of like her impact grenades, wasn't able to really stop them, and it doesn't look like the Buck was able to either. And at that point, it was really just down to keeping the attackers pressured into that room, and then just tasing them repeatedly in that room, like a torture chamber going off there. Just such dominance from ASU, kind of stopping them from being able to do anything for themselves to get out.
Yeah, definitely a really good adaptation from ASU there. But still, you really don't want to lose the first or second site here. You want to take it to the tertiary site and hopefully win it. But that's kind of the sites that you'd be okay with losing. They did bring it back. Again, a beautiful adaptation with the Goyo. But we're going to see how they defend Kitchen. You see all the reinforcements, just hard reinforcing Kitchen, just a pretty standard setup. And I believe that's going to be Zerfon, probably going to be roaming upstairs. Yes, it is. He's going to be holding up top, but it looks like Virginia here is probably just going to go for a hard bakery take. trying not to worry about those roamers too much. You have to take above sight just a little bit so they can't play vertical holes, but you can do that from outside the engine balcony there.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna see a lot of the droning work going heavy on the first floor. It looks like they're gonna be focusing here rather than trying to go for a top-down approach, but they're gonna unfortunately get stopped as they're not gonna be able to breach this wall open, as there is the Kai charge set up on it. Might be able to use some aggressive play to make up for it, or possibly even the buck from to come from above to get those angles down, probably accompanied by Parcel as well, as it looks like Tooler are going to be already peeking into prep here, just pre-firing, putting down some pressure, and making sure that they're a little bit more afraid to peek these angles.
Opening above here, we see Parcel and Six pushing above, working together, trying to get this electrical off the wall, but it's actually not in a spot where you can shoot it from above. It's a really good placement. They might have to rotate into engine, but Zerfon's holding engine all the way from heaven there, doing just over half HP off of 6 on the Buck there. Not quite finding a down or a frag, which would have been huge because Buck has so much soft breach potential, but he's still alive. He can still do stuff like that, open above and find a pick onto Alex. That's the mood off the board.
Oh,
and
good.
Zerfon coming down red stairs is finally going to sit 6 down. Beautiful refrag there. He's just going to back off though and play it safe, because the attacker's got to go to him. He doesn't have to push them anymore. He's scared them, and that's really all you need to do on the row.
Oh yeah, the pressure that Zerfon's giving off here, moving his position constantly. You can see right there the Mozzie Spider also sitting below him, going to be cutting off some of the intel coming in on his position. Doing a really good job at roaming here, making himself really loose and using the advantage of having the Mute and Mozzie combination to kind of, lower down the drones that they have here. Because you can even see there, they only have 2 drones alive left on the side of Kyramer and Parcel, and that's about it.
Yeah, Kyramer here is going to try to be Maverick, tricking that bakery wall open. It might just be a little too late, though, for that, as it does take a lot of time. You still need the soft breach to open it up after, and there's only 30 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, there's some vertical pressure above, but Baka's still playing close to that bakery wall. Ooh, Viral here coming down white is not quite going to peek into it, and Kyramer is actually going to go down on the Maverick trick, and Zerfon with one tries to find the other but doesn't quite. Cooler instead though is going to find another, and that's Diffuser down in prep, but Parcel's already in kitchen pushing in. He's got to go through Baka though. He's got to go through 2, and Cooler is not going to let him do that. He's going to sit him down again with that Alda, and it's actually an Electro Claw kill from Baka. I don't know if the downed...
Yeah, I think the down guy may have just walked into it and then just got himself finished off by the electric wall overall. Or possibly he may have gone actually down to the electric wall, being, hurt up so much, and then just got the final blow getting dealt by the electricity straight to the heart. Really unfortunate situation there for him, but fortunately he will still have enough rounds to be able to pull this back, as this is still ASU's defense. And of course, this is a defender-sided heavy map.
Yeah, Zerfon there, that last round was really wreaking havoc from above, just flanking down red, then rotating around to push down white to find another, almost with a nice 3-piece with a flick, but didn't quite hit it. But just being the menace from above, finding that early pick onto 6 really made the attack rotate off of that top pressure, because they weren't sure where he was. There was no one there to refrag 6, and Zerfon got away scot-free basically, and later came down white and almost got a double off of it. So you can do a hard bakery push for kitchen, but you just have to be really wary of your flanks.
Oh yeah, and you can see a lot into the mindset of how they, Zerfon roams here. As generally speaking, you always have 2 different types of roamers. You have roamers who just decide to go aggressive and just take the fights more head on, or you have also the roamers that take things a little more passively and kind of focus more on the bigger picture of stalling for time.
10 seconds left.
Zerfon, as you said before, just doing such a good job at rotating between the two, is playing really passive and really stalling the time of the attackers, and kind of just allowing themselves to burn down the clock and then eventually force them into a pressure push into the first floor on his teammates. And then between him and his teammates together, they ended up capitalizing a lot better off of it. So really well played.
Yeah, there was a rotate there from Viral on the Mozzie there just to give him a little bit of assistance. He didn't use it very much, but Arizona State has been playing really well as a team, watching each other. Last round, you saw Tuller covering prep hallway so that the Cade could trick the wall. It's just some beautiful teamwork coming out from ASU. Speaking of, Zerfon's going to find a really early pick onto Parcel. That's the sledge off the board. That was from outside. That was from White Stairs window, actually.
Yeah.
I don't. That wasn't a jump out. It may have just been.
It was
repel.
yeah, he popped open the window there, and you can see as he repelled up to the top and just started running forward, his dead body's right outside that window and just got caught out. That's a really good pick for Zerfon there as well, as that is the sledge. That's the vertical gone, except for the fact that they did bring 6 on Buck as well, so they still do have their substitute.
It's gonna be huge though. You only have one op to open vertical. One Bookshelf's already pushed into Freezer. Is gonna find a pick on the Viral. Just gonna try to even the odds a little bit, bringing it back to a 4v4. I don't know how she got in there. She must have ran in from Cigar. Alex though, with a quick answer on the SMG-11, is going to take 6 off the board. That must have been through vertical holes there with that SMG-11. Just that massive fire right there, being able to just punish anyone who tries to peek close. Valorian, though, is going to try to drop into Janister, but instead is going to find a pick onto Alex. Looking down, checking his drop before he drops it. Definitely a good call as Alex is dropped off the board. And we're just having a nice back and forth here, bringing it back to an even 3v3. Just keeping it nice and even. But with a minute left, the attackers are going to have to start doing something. They did get the smoke off the board, so they're not too much pressed for time. The Toxic Babes are no longer on the board, so they don't have to worry about a last-second push, but they will have to start making some sort of moves here. It's actually one below. That's a Valkyrie below Brown Stairs. This could be a huge flank. This could punish the attackers, as it looks like they're going for a reading door plant here. And I don't know if they know Baka's underneath him there. He's gonna slowly move up. He's gonna find. It's gonna do some damage. Throw a Nitro up, and it's not quite gonna connect. But Zerfon on the other side of the map is gonna find a pick onto Kyramer, and then a second onto Bookshelf from inside of reading. Beautiful distraction from Baka there, as he's gonna run around to White and rotate back up to site.
And here we go, Florian, last man on the team, gonna try to clutch it out, and Zerfon is gonna just finish him out, giving himself a quad kill for this round, showing a really dominant play on Jaeger here, as he's just pulling off a lot of kills here, and making a lot of impact frags for his team for 2 rounds now, and they're gonna be able to take it right back up to the top floor and bar now.
Yeah, that's a perfect site rotation coming out from Arizona State after their first round. That was probably just their warm-up. They got it together. They started playing a lot more cohesively as a team. And, I mean, props to Zerfon right now. He's just a menace on the roam. Virginia's going to have to do something, maybe try to push him out before pushing site, because he's just wreaking havoc.
Oh yeah, and from the last time of the top floor defense here, I don't remember if it was because the thermite got taken out early, but they weren't able really to reach as much as they wanted to. So I do believe, it was a maestro cam setup kind of prevented them from being able to reach onto the walls of the freezer wall, since the way the rotations were made, as they ran out of soft breach tools due to the Goyo. It doesn't look like we'll be seeing the return of the Goyo here, so they might be able to keep that soft breach, especially with the Ash and Sophia coming out alongside the Buck. They're gonna be able to stop any of those threats similar as before, and possibly might be looking a little bit more favored to Virginia Tech this time, if all things go their way, or all things go the way that they have been.
Yeah, they're really going to have to try to pull this back out here. I'm kind of interested as to why Arizona State didn't run the Goyo. Maybe Zerfon's finally warmed up now, and they're just going to be banking on him. But like you said, the Goyo was a huge reason why Arizona State did end up winning this top floor the second time around. Just that huge dump of utility, because, well, now, Zofia and Buck and, well, the addition of Ash from Virginia.
Goodness.
Is going to be able to bring a lot more utility to drain those Goyos if they brought them, but they didn't decide to. And a really early pick onto Alex the Doc there off the board, trying to spawn peek the front window there, is going to get punished. He's not even going to get any damage off, and, well, he's no longer going to be able to heal his teammates with his stims later on in the round.
Yeah, things are already looking in Virginia Tech's favor. They should be able to push their objectives a lot more consistently. I think the only thing here that might be a little bit of the menace is the Mozzie spiders since the fact that it looks like they're droning kind of heavy on the red stair side. They're probably gonna have to just have one teammate sacrifice their drone as well. But actually, as well, they're not gonna be able to get off. There is no anti-breach on that wall actually, so there will be able to open that wall. Sorry, I was about to say they're gonna have a little bit of a more struggle trying to open it up due to the fact of the Kaid charge, but it looks like they didn't opt to Kaid charge off that wall, so probably a lot easier for them, and they're going to be able to push in second they get their drone work nice and comfy, and it looks like they will be trying to check out this corner. They actually do spot out the member of ASU hiding behind there. That's Firewall. He's going to, knowing that he spotted out, he's going to play a little bit more aggressively here and see if he can pull anything off here.
Yeah, but with that red wall being opened up behind him, he's going to get pushed out of here, and his cross is already cut off by Bookshelf, but Firewall is going to sit Bookshelf down. Luckily, though, Parcel is there for the refrag, and, well, that was a nice trade there, but Virginia still has the man advantage because of that early pick. They do have the Evil Eye watching Freezer wall, though, so they can deny it, but someone's gonna have to sit here. They're gonna have to dedicate 2 people to watch it while Thermite goes for plant here. Not plant, sorry, but to put the exo down. He's going to try to flash it, probably just trying to drain the ADS, trying for Ash or Buck could breach charge or nade it, but there still is the Evil Eye close on that wall that'll deny the exothermic charge if no one's watching, and it looks like Virginia's probably gonna opt to try to spread out their take just a little bit more.
Yeah, it looks like 6 is actually already out of breaching charges as well, and I think those Maestro cams may have still been up. So, it looks like it did get caught up, or get taken down, though, as it did have Kyramer covering it as well, just in case. And now at this point, they have their breaches open. 20 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to make their push here and now in order to secure this win here. As 6 holding the midway of the entire room, trying to cut off anyone from being able to peek as well. And it looks like shots will be going, and Parcel will get a triple kill as Bach will just C4 him right back. Kyramer getting a shot onto Zerfon. Now we're just down to a 1v3 as Bach is last man standing. 2 drones left for 6, but they will not be used, and Kyramer will take him down despite the lack of information and finish the round for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia brought a lot more utility there, and without the Goyo to drain it, well, they had utility to spare, though, just dumping it into the Evil Eyes and into the Soft Breach. Really, really good push there, especially the early pick. That got Virginia's blood pumping. They're like, okay, early pick, let's turn this into a win, and that's exactly what they did. Another really clean take up top there with a cover going down. That's the Virginia I was expecting a little bit more of, and now that they're back on top of it, they're probably going to try to keep it going. But Arizona State is going to opt to go kitchen, and they did win that first try last time around. So I'd be interested to see how Virginia is going to change it up to try to counter it. First of all, we're not seeing an IQ this time. Baka knows to place the Electro Claw on the vent, so it can actually be shot from above. So the IQ really isn't all that useful. Yes, there's still a lot of gadgets on the board, but you can opt to take a different operator that has more of a direct use, like Ash, to just go in and frag and get Zerfon out of top floor, because if Zerfon's off the board, then you can focus purely on vertical play and really shake the defense up.
Yeah, and you could just see here that Virginia Tech also kind of made the read that they're going to go back to kitchen, as they did bring the Maverick here. As before, if you paid attention, the only time they actually brought Maverick was for kitchen at all, and that's it. And that's generally before it was because it was like 100% chance to bring 5 seconds left for them to pick kitchen, because it's the general let's go to the kitchen next rather than let's play on reading, because reading is a little bit more scarier compared all things put together. And it looks like they will be a little bit more prepared going into this one, knowing it off the bat. And I just also want to highlight here, Zerfon and Parcel both for their teams just breaking out, as you have Parcel with 6 kills on him already on round round 6 here, as Zerfon only has 9 kills as well. That's both players really playing out of their minds here and really came prepared.
Oh yeah, definitely. But Virginia here, there's 2 defenders all the way top floor. They're opting for just a pretty much full bakery take here, not putting anyone up top to play vertical. They have the Maverick. It doesn't matter that the wall's electrocuted, they can still open it up, and that's what they're gonna do. You see 6 setting up a flank drone on red stairs, Valorian opening up prep. a lot of the setup that Virginia does and does well is coming out here. So I'd kind of be surprised if Virginia doesn't end up taking this round. They seem to be a lot more set on what they're doing. They're being a lot more assertive, and that's Valorian is going to find the opening pick on the Baka, and that's the Cade off the board, as well as a Nitro.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can make a big game changer in the end here, as Florian gonna be starting to burn out the ADS, so Parcel could start playing a little bit of pressure, as he's kind of prone right beside his teammate, and Tuller gonna take his head off for it, and it looks like with that ult, they're gonna opt to reload and just get ready to just hold down that long angle and play super aggressively, as the wall has finally been completed. Buck now going to clear it off super easily, and using his ACOG, going to be able to see as far into the side as he can. Try to see finding heads. He will find Tuller's head right there and then. And at this point now, it is a 4v3 for the side of Virginia Tech, and they're looking pretty good in terms of their projective play.
Six, though, is going to find Zerfon. That's a huge fragger off the board. He caught him down on the rotate because, well, Firewall can play this angle into prep, and he can play vertical to stop denial, but they need cams in kitchen to do that, and I don't know if Firewall has any drones, but he will find the headshot onto Booktech. The drones, they do have it. They have the Evil Eye. It's going to be spraying through the floor, but isn't quite going to find the frag on a Parcel before he can get Diffuser down, leading it to a 3v2 post-plant scenario. The attackers now just have to play it safe here, try to back out into Bakery, because if you're in Bakery, there's only 2 doors they can push from. Prep and Red Hall both have very long angles that you can hold from far away, and Six being behind Alex there is going to find a pick, but not before Alex trades it out onto Six, and Kyramer on the prone is going to find the headshot on the Firewall, and that's going to be Virginia closing out the round, bringing it to an even 3v3 half on Cafe.
Yeah, things looking really good on Virginia Tech side, as generally, as I said before, defender-sided game, defender-sided map. So, bringing it to a 3v3 and then getting swapped onto the defender side, looking very good for the side of Virginia Tech, and it looks like they might be able to keep things going with the momentum they've been bringing. But it's on ASU at this point to, try to be able to show them, you know what, no more defender-sided map meta. Let's make it as attacker-sided and to just take it right back from them.
And to be noted, Cafe was Virginia's map pick, so I wouldn't be surprised if they end up taking and winning this map out. They've definitely been bringing it. The rounds that they've won it by quite the landslide, pushing really well as a team, droning it out, making sure they have their flanks watched. Six pushing up aggressively, but not stupidly, doing it smartly, just being able to just get behind the defense without them really knowing there. But it looks like here for Virginia Tech on their first round on defense is going to be going all the way up top, is kind of to be expected. And no crazy optics coming out. I don't think we saw the smoke on top floor at all from Arizona State. And he's always good at denying time. ASU is a team known for kind of pushing in those last 30 seconds, being very good at it, but with a smoke or even a Goyo on the board to try to deny that out just a little bit could be kind of detrimental to ASU. They're going to have to push just ever so much faster.
And at this point here, we're gonna hopefully. Oh, yeah, I see already here the giant floor just being dismantled. A little bit of VT showing out their own, strategy of how they're gonna defend this. Gonna be able to actually just maybe hold below and just shoot straight up that. As we got some nice rotations coming in from the infamous bathroom corner there, you could just bring a shotgun, sit there forever, and just use the power of any intel denial and Jaegers to be able to stop anyone from being able to enter. And it looks like already getting a fast shots onto the window, just opening up for some nice pressure.
Yeah, just gives the defense something a little bit more to worry about. They probably heard them repel off of it, get off the repel there, but it's still open now. Someone could get on that at any point and just put a little bit of pressure onto White Stairs. You can't hold that angle quite as aggressively. As we hear Tuller on the gridlock, using your super shorty to try to open up that hatch. It's really not going to cooperate with her, so it looks like it's staying closed, but she's got plenty of ammo there to open it up later. A lot of attackers on their drones here calling out that Piano is clear right now and could just be repelled into if there's an attacker repelled onto the window, and that looks like exactly what Baka and Fyro are going to be trying to go for here.
Yeah, as you can see, you're already just dropping straight down to red stairs. Gonna be able to probably start a push here. Watching below as well. Gonna be able to possibly set up Alex here to open up the wall if he pleases to do so. But actually, they're gonna. We have IQ just propelling straight in. As you said before, it is just empty in here. Zerfon gonna find his first kill onto 6. That's a pretty good frag as the gun of the Jaeger gone. And at this point now is a lot of utility left on the side of Virginia Tech here for the round. And we see, hopefully, they may be able to pull something off from that, as we have Zerfon just holding down Cigar Shop into the opposite side of the map. Going to be able to catch some, probably catch some heads, as Florian hiding inside of the freezer here with the power of the deployable shield to kind of cover him a little bit as he peeks. Wall will get open up inside bathroom and start to expose where that nice rotation is.
Yeah, so because that electrical is on the wall there, they can't directly open up freezer wall. So they're gonna have to open up bathroom wall and have that small little angle through the rotate hole, which is gonna cut off a lot of sight lines. They can no longer see all the way back to Cocktail, but Baka peeking from Cigar can see all the way back to Cocktail. He's gonna find a pick onto Bookshelf. That's the smoke off the board. Kyramer, though, answering back with a pick onto Alex from the roam, and Baka with another onto Kyramer. Zerfon pushing into Bar here, but Parcel is gonna sit Zerfon down, and Baka with a third, I believe, onto Parcel there. Just a lot of back and forth, leaving it all down to Florian, who's stuck in freezer. He does have the TCSG, which does loads of damage, but being full flash, there's not really much you can do. And being spotted out by Tuller, being surrounded on all sides, it's going to be around for Arizona State, kind of taking some of the momentum away from Virginia.
Yeah, definitely a round to start setting the pace of this game here, as, you know, last time before Virginia Tech kind of getting themselves a little bit of some confidence, bringing into a 3-3 on attack, and now at this point, ASU showing that they could do the exact same thing right back as they take the first round on Bar, and possibly at this point, kind of make Virginia Tech a little bit more wary of how they're going to play this, and kind of make sure that they have to play, keep things clean and respectful, as they may have to, not peak aggressively on as many things as they might on a regular day and catch people off guard.
Yeah, so an interesting show there from Parcel, showing the pulse. I kind of would have been surprised if he stuck it, because usually if you're taking an operator that you haven't taken before, you want to 6 onto them. But they were just showing the pulse to give Arizona State here just a little something to worry about. Now maybe they take some extra time to drone below. Maybe IQ spends a bit more time on their scanner looking for him. It's those little tiny mind games which buy a few seconds, which actually end up winning rounds potentially. We see Zerfon's drone already going in all the way down at Bakery, probably gonna be looking for that pulse just in case they decided to stick him, which of course Virginia didn't, but still, it's just those mind games that buy just those little bits of time.
Yeah, definitely some mind games you definitely want to pull, especially when you don't really need your 6 pick 100%. Because at the very least, you're now causing them to kind of stall and over drone themselves a bit at the cost of pretty much nothing if you were never really planning on 6 picking in the first place. It really works well, and oh my goodness, putting 2 spiders at that doorway to prevent any insults coming into piano as freely as before. And I actually kind of like that setup, as, generally speaking, when you're trying to drone into that room, you kind of drop your drone from red stairs and then you immediately push it past that doorway. And both those drones will actually be able to cover that entire doorway while not being super obvious and sitting right in the middle of the doorway, as well as some Mozzies may leave their spiders just lying around, and it becomes an easy target.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Virginia's going a lot more for just a time buying strat here, as a lot of their setup is rotated around just buying time. Those Mozzie pests in piano just making it ever so much harder to drone it out. It's just going to slow the attackers down. The smoke as well with his utility to slow down, and the Maestro with the evil eyes, as well as providing loads of intel. Those lasers just slow the attackers down. And you see 6 here is going to try to play it a little bit more aggressively on the Pixel bathroom, just kind of rotating between the two, just switching it up so the attackers can't quite drone him out. There's already a drone on the bar here from Tuller, just looking, making sure and checking that angle, and actually relaying to his team that there is no one there. So Alex is going to be able to repel into piano here, as well as Zerfon.
Oh yeah, and at this point they already have some ground inside the piano room. They're going to start pushing up, as they have to be wary of these lines of sight that they could use as that wall will allow someone to be able to peek from heaven balcony there and just shoot straight into that site if they are able to get just the right angle. I'm pretty sure it would see that far away. And at this point here, you see the pulse plan at work, where they are now putting a little bit more time invested into clearing out below and droning out below, looking for the pulse, putting Baka down here on Nomad, and he will catch Parcel in response of all this. And really good pick there, as that is the Maestro down. No longer any fear from any lasers coming from those evil eyes, although the site intelligence itself is still available to them.
If you notice that drone in piano, that's actually Kairama's drone who's Mozzie's. That's in piano. That's giving a lot of intel. That actually allowed Kicks to swing and take Viral off the board. That's the IQ gone. They're going to have to deal with utility just by directly peeking it. Mabaka being on a kill streak with another pick on the bookshelf. That's the Cade off the board, bringing his team back into it with a nice clean refrag. Zerfon pushing up into bar. Is going to find Smoke with his back turned, and Alex on his back picking up the frag onto 6. The diffuser's going down here from Alex. Mozzie on Kairama is going to try to swing Cocktail, but with so many ACOGs watching him, Baka's going to clean up with a nice 3-piece for that round.
The absolute confidence pushing in onto the that entire skylight area, as generally speaking, that's kind of like a bit of a no man's land, as you have the freezer angles watching you, you have the cocktail balcony areas watching you, and it kind of makes it a little bit of a pressure to push in, but Zerfon just immediately gunning in there, focusing, using the drone work that they had set up for themselves, focusing his efforts onto the side of Freezer, taking, I believe it was him and Alex both, did take down a piece each into some of the people playing in Freezer, one inside the bathroom, one inside that Freezer there, and just after that point, using that momentum to kind of put VT kind of shaken up, as suddenly now Ish is down to one guy left, and they have the diffuser, they're going to be able to plant, and they got themselves around off of that.
Yeah, and well, Virginian Tech here opting, and well, I guess they don't believe that third time's the charm here, as they are going to drop down all the way down to Kitchen. Bookshelf, though, is going to 6 onto the Vigil. That wasn't shown in the reveal phase. Just realizing that, hey, Arizona State is being really efficient with their drones, droning every little corner out. So I'm going to play the Vigil, just cloak to those drones. So they have to drone it, they have to waste more time. And, well, if someone's pushing aggressively on the drone, there's no calls from the drone to act on. Might be able to get a few quick picks. Kairama, though, taking a little damage already into the round. Must have been a little bit of team damage, not quite sure where from. He did use an impact, so maybe he did a little bit of damage onto himself, but not all too much, so it shouldn't affect him all too much later in the round.
Yeah, and for sure, Vigil, and also being able to just completely create his own mind game of where his position is. As if you use that ability, the lines of your drone being above him and on the same floor as him, they're almost the exact same. And at that point, it becomes such a hard puzzle to figure out where exactly he's playing, and you end up having to stall a lot more time onto droning and waiting for his ability to run out just to find out if he's where your drone is or not. Then, if he's not where your drone is, then, I mean, good job, you found that he's not there, but at the same time, you also just wasted a lot of time, and at the same time, it could have also been, maybe he just ran away from that area altogether. It just stalls a lot of attackers quite a bit.
Kicks and Bookshelf holding up top. I'm actually surprised Kicks got out of Piano alive. They're holding it quite aggressively to that rear stage. Just being slightly misdroned and being able to take them out before they saw him really allowed him to be able to rotate out there. And, well, now the attackers can't repel into Piano because they're not sure. Someone's playing around there. They know Vigil's up by Cocktail somewhere, but he was cloaked, so they can't be sure. You see Zerfon here pushing from red stairs into Cigar. Gonna try to find this Vigil who is currently on the roam. He will be spotted out, but he can just cloak and move out. He's gonna have to keep moving if he wants to stay alive. He's gonna be pushed from multiple directions here. You see Zerfon pushing from white stairs. Firewall looking down. Cocktail kick 6 though is going to find the pick onto Zerfon. That is Arizona State's top fragger off the board. That's a great first pick for Virginia.
Yeah, and actually, that kill itself gave Bookshelf the ability to stay up there and play, keep that presence there, as he didn't really opt to jump down after being droned out. And you can see right here that it's paying off due to the Six's pick as well, relieving some of the pressure off of him. Gonna be able to capitalize on it. Take down Fyro. That's a sludge gone now. Down to a 5v3. 50 seconds left on the clock here. As Alex already starting to just focus his efforts onto Bakery side and make sure that some site development gets made in these final moments here. As, oh my goodness, Tuller will finish off Bookshelf and start to help his team as they start to focus heavy onto the site itself.
Yeah, Six though is still on the roam here, gonna be trying to find Tuller before he can rotate back down to his teammates, as they're both pushing into prep, but he's gonna drop outside and push around, get some tracks down to deny the flank. He's gonna try to peek towards Bar, but that's Doc with his ACOG. He's gonna find one, and Florian answers as well with a pick onto Baka, leaving him all down to Alex on Thermite with Diffuser in hand. 10 seconds left on the clock. He's gonna have to do something, but Six on red stairs is going to find the pick and end the round out for Virginia.
You gotta love these types of games where both teams are just playing so competitively and so well together that each game ends up becoming kind of a back and forth between each other. And it's just, at this point, we're 5-4 on Cafe. I don't think I've seen a Cafe game end up this close overall. Like, generally speaking, whenever you watch Cafe, it's always like, okay, my turn on defense first. Let me just take this 4-2. Okay, your turn on defense. Can you pull off the 4-2 back, or am I just gonna get my 3 wins and just take it from there? And I don't think I've seen a score difference be this close at this point of the game.
Yeah, both of these teams just chaining rounds together. We had the 1 round from Virginia Tech at the beginning, but then Arizona went 3, Virginia 2, Arizona 2. Now it's Virginia's turn, taking it back from them. And actually, so far for these first 9 rounds, 8 out of the 9 opening picks have been turned into a round win. Whoever gets the opening pick tends to win the round. That's usually what you see in the higher level play, like in Light League or even Open League. There's some really competitive teams on there. But it's kind of interesting to see just how much of an impact an open pick does have. So if you're going for that spawn peak, you always got to think about it. It's high risk, high reward.
Oh yeah. And now we're going to be seeing the Pulse actually getting stuck and brought in during the 6th pick phase from Parcel on Virginia Tech. Going to be playing below inside reading here. Going to be able to just use that scanner and see if he could catch any feet. Does look like he does for sure get droned out here. As not only Fyro, but Baka will be seeing him. And at this point, they can guarantee that, if we weren't below, we're going to have to go hunt out this Pulse. 100%. Oh my goodness. The actual drone plays here. There's absolute... Oh my goodness, the pilot ship on that drone were just absolutely just jumping down those stairs and dodging the crosshairs of Parcel altogether, making him, I do believe that used about 1 meg. It may not sound like a lot in terms of siege, but you know what? It's the minor victories that add up.
Yeah, I think Fyro needs to go pro for drone parkour, because that was amazing, juking Parcel out quite extensively and just wasting a lot of time from the Pulse. But the Pulse trying to play a sneaky below. You saw him originally crouched in reading, trying to hide his position, but he was droned out, and now he's gonna have to rotate back up, playing by under red hatch, kind of under new hatch, a little bit of both. As there's one in janitor as well who was caught on the drone reinforcing, so it looks like they're gonna try to push in a little bit aggressively. The Bookshelf's already rotated back all the way up top to Cocktail.
Ooh, and looks like the Pulse will be spotted out here from the IQ, letting her know that, you know what, they're upstairs with the Pulse. We don't have to worry from a thing from below, and we'll try to punish him as he's scanning really heavily onto that staircase. But Parcel will swap off in time, get the shot onto get the shot onto Fyro at just a little bit of cost to his health bar, and it looks like we might be using a C4 up the balcony here, taking some health off of Tuller, not taking him out of the fight just yet, and backing off immediately to make sure he doesn't get refaked onto the 2nd floor here, playing back and reading as we got Baka pushing up and taking down this area, making sure that checking to see if he get those same angles onto them again. But he will get spotted out here as Parcel gonna be able to see that nice heartbeat, knowing exactly where he is, and gonna relay the information to his team and try to keep himself passive and see if he can capitalize on it. And it looks like Kyra are going to be using the information as well to just pre-fire onto the bottom floor and be ready this time, trading a little bit of damage to both sides. And, both sides kind of walking out still alive, but definitely very injured.
Six, though, is going to find the pick on his Zerfon. Zerfon, again, being taken out before he can really do all too much is not a good look for Arizona State here. And the pulse is still below, relaying loads and loads and loads of intel. He catches Nomad here on the drone, standing still. He's going to get off the scanner. He doesn't have Nitro in hand, but he's going to shoot through the floor and do just over half HP onto Nomad.
Actually,
Tutor is going to respond and find a pick on to 6.
I think he may have missed because I think that half HP was done by Keimer's Maestro Cam. They've actually just hit the floor or something there. I'm not actually quite sure.
Yeah, probably a metal bar there as Baka pushes in, finds a pick. Valorian's down. It's now pretty much down, but a Nitro from below from Bookshelf to find a quick 2, and Gridlock has to plant. Kyrimer is going to close the round out with the Evil Eye there. One of those kills you don't see all too much here as he hops on. He gets the last couple shots onto there from the damage done from Pulse's Nitro much earlier in the round. And that's going to be Virginia Tech finally winning that top floor. And well, they just won Kitchen, so now they're going to have to go to a tertiary site.
Yeah, a lot of strength off of that lovely cam right there. Being able to just ping out the enemy team and letting the Mozzie know exactly when to throw the C4 and allowing him to just really make the big difference at the very end there for the side of Virginia Tech and just absolutely destroying him right beneath the floor as the Maestro cam is just starting to go full force on tasing him as well. Really strong play from them on there, and now we're at 5-5 on Cafe. My goodness, this is gonna go down to a 6-6. I bet you right now.
Yeah, if Virginia can keep this momentum going, then they could win it out. But with this back and forth with these rounds of men, well, my bet's on a 6-6 as well. This is a tertiary site that Virginia's gonna have to win, which is going to be pretty difficult. They're tertiary sites for a reason. They're not super strong, but ever since the rework of Cafe, they definitely are viable. They're a lot better than what they were before. They're a lot more... the defense could hold it. It's not just an automatic win for the attack, which is what we like to see. We like seeing balanced maps in Siege.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything's more excited. But like you said before, this map or this site a little bit more balanced toward the defenders and giving them a little more chance. As before time, you know, they just got absolutely like really heavily oppressed from above. Whereas this time, you know, considering the changes done to the top floor, allows the defenders to actually play very aggressively and passively and keep themselves alive a lot more on top floor, and also be able to just try to pick off as many as they can a lot easier, as they have the long angles and they have a lot of sharp angles they could hold if they have, you know, a little bit more of something like a shotgun or a submachine gun. And in the end, it just makes this site actually not the worst to hold, although yet again, you know, obviously not favorable.
No, there's got to be some, like, not all sites can be perfectly balanced. It's so hard to do, especially in a game like Siege, where there's so much soft destructions. There's loads of angles that I'm sure the developers didn't plan to be in that are, just because there's so many people playing, and there are so many soft walls that can be opened up to hold angles. It's just impossible. But already a minute into the round here, and it doesn't look like the attackers have quite entered the building yet. There are a lot of drones being put out, but Cooler here peeking towards 6 is going to do a little bit of damage, and 6 is going to try to peek it.
Oh my god.
A beautiful quick peek is going to find the pick onto Tuller. That's the gridlock off the board. That's a lot of utility gone, but fret not. Virginia still has Nomad there, so a lot of flanking potential still can be denied with those air jabs, but without the gridlock, it's definitely going to be a little bit worse. Plus, now Virginia has the man advantage, and it looks like they're going to be trying for quite the aggressive leading take here. So there's 3 outside the leading door, but Baka spraying through the wall into Endon is going to like Bookshelf to very low HP, and Baka's going to rotate back out as Bookshelf backs off a little bit too. Firewall still on Skylight. It's the attacking team here is just very split right now. They're not quite sure where they want to be pushing in from, as there's still drones going out. We see Alex repelled outside, trying to put some pressure on a cocktail from the outside, but 6 here is looking like he wants to jump out of this window here. He has it prepped. You saw the bottom of the window is broken, so if he does want to, he can just press space and bolt out and get a frag if one of them's repelling, which none of them are right now. Valorian, though, going to be lit to very low from the repel, will drop hatch, and 6 does jump out and finds one, but Firewall on the repel will answer back and refrag that, but Virginia still has the man advantage.
Yeah, and at this point, 30 seconds left on the clock. 3 attackers left from ASU. They're going to be trying to push onto Bookshelf into Train here. It looks like he will take down one, but not the second, as Baka will get the refrag from Zerfon's attempt. And at this point now, 2 people left on the board. Kind of very split here as Spiral left outside, as Baka is going to be trying to pressure onto the site itself and allow Spiral to be able to push in from that doorway. And the Maestro camp just laying down the oppression and the pressure, as he can't get in fully due to all the shots coming off on him, and as a result, Spiral ending up in the exact same boat, getting pressured out to the Alda at the very end. As at this point, he's just gonna play the bullet hose game and keep holding down left click, knowing that his teammates are still there, with I do believe multiple smoke canisters left alive.
Yeah, that round was almost the perfect example as to why the opening pick is so important in Siege. Due to that opening pick and Arizona not being able to refrag that right away, Virginia Tech had the man advantage. And although Arizona was the aggressor and found a pick in every engagement, Virginia Tech was always right there to refrag it. And, well, if you have a man up to begin with, you trade 1-for-1, 1-for-1, 1-for-1. Well, Virginia's the last person alive, and that's a perfect site rotation for Virginia. That was a beautiful hold, and they're gonna opt to go down to Kitchen. They can't go back to Bar just yet, so it's either Kitchen or Fireplace Engine, and well, Kitchen is arguably a much better site.
Yeah, and at this point, we're at the last round here, as this is still, as we're not in the playoffs just yet. So at this point, it's on VT to be able to win this and be able to take it for themselves and secure this map win. And if ASU is able to pull it back here, they will pull off an overall tie on this map. Not a bad thing to walk out with, as it still does deny points to Virginia Tech and stopping them a little bit more from hitting into the second place for the division. And so definitely not the worst outcome overall. And they're really going to just try their hardest here to keep that from happening.
Yeah, this is Virginia Tech's map, though, so they are trying to win this out, and Virginia Tech's actually a single point behind Arizona State. So even if they tie this map, they're going to have to try to win the next map, or win this map and tie the next to get more points than Arizona and take that second place out from under them. It's definitely coming down to the wire. I would be surprised if Villa, our next map, is going to be... it's probably going to be very close, as both of these teams are very close in skill level here. But Zerfon on the Twitch there, wreaking havoc on the freezer wall with his Twitch drone, being able to get rid of all of those bandit wires and Kate Electroclaws. That's a lot of utility off the board for a single Twitch drone. And, well, the defense really just wasn't watching for it. It's going to be quite the fast push here, as Prep Barb is already being broken. I'd be surprised if Arizona State didn't rotate around and put a little pressure on the freezer, because those electric devices were removed.
Yeah, definitely. That freezer side is going to be very easy for them to be able to take now, as they no longer have to worry about all that those gadgets. And it looks like they are going to have some drone work going onto the side of Bakery, seeing if they're able to take it, as they do have some of their teammates set up to be able to start to pressure it. As it looks like Alex, yeah, here it is, opting to go over to freezer side and just work off of what is already broken and be able to secure that. The only threat they have here is Kyramer, gonna be playing here from Brownstairs. He's gonna possibly be able to peek down that entire hallway before they are even able to get toward that wall and shut them down early. And at this point, you could see a bit of a push. Tooler gonna be taking down Florian here with that LMG from Zofia, a gun you don't see as often as you feel like you would. And at this point, Alex actually going for the plant.
Pushed in from the breach. They're planning tight on the breach, and there's no one watching it. They don't have either the Maestro or Velt to watch it. As Alex finds Kyramer, but Bookshelf responds with a frag on the Zerfon there. Bookshelf is going to be down, but 6 with a quick revive. They really need it. Parcel's trying to hold down site here. It's going to boost up a little bit, but Alex is going to find the pick onto Bookshelf, and another one onto 6, just prone holding that angle, and Baka with the last frag onto Parcel, tying up Cafe. What a round for Arizona State, taking that very aggressively, but also very smoothly. I don't believe that was a flawless take, but it was very aggressive. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, I like how throughout the entire match we ended up kind of playing like a 50-50 of are they going to go bakery or are they going to go onto freezer side, where they just had so much of the pressure like on bakery from the side of AS or sorry, from the side of Virginia Tech, and then freezer side was completely empty, but there was still two playing Christmas market, making it a little bit difficult. And then you can see at the end there, I do believe that was the bakery wall open at the end, correct? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and they ended up just going back there, getting those pieces of anti breach down, and actually just going for a plant there. And then as soon as the walls open, that is, I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought that would take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I didn't even realize bakery wall was open and they were already in site planning. It was a really good drone work from the attack there, and just overall really good push from Arizona State at the end. We do have one of our players restarting really quickly. So in the meantime, I do just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, because that's why we're here. That's why we're keeping you guys entertained during this quarantine. I know it sucks, but esports will be here for you. So firstly, Corsair, really top quality peripherals there, and computer accessories. They're really awesome. I'm sure you've heard of them. They're also buffing the prize pool for both invite and open, with money and some really nice keyboards. I'm hoping to get my hands on some of those, but you'll have to watch and see. Um, Obviously, to Rogue Energy, they've been our OG sponsor. Really great energy drinks. They taste really good. They don't taste chalky like a lot of other energy drinks. Don't forget to use code CEA at checkout for 10% off. And lastly but not least, what's new.gg, that's NEU, for supplying some really good clothing that will be coming very, very soon. I was told that we got an email that it should be out for shipment any day now. Might be delayed with all of this coronavirus stuff going on, but definitely keep your ears open. I got a quick peek at them. It's some really nice stuff.
Oh yeah, and it looks like we'll be taking this little short break here as the players have to reconnect to the lobby here. So we'll just be right back in a little bit.
Don't go
Stay
anywhere.
tuned.
Welcome back after that very quick break. I hope you all had a chance to go to the bathroom and wash your hands. Don't forget to wash your hands. Thank you for sticking with us for our Week 7 matchup. This will be Invite League. We have a very thrilling game so far between Virginia Tech and Arizona State. If you missed out, we just had a really close game on Cafe. A lot of back and forth. Ended up being a 6-6 tie between the two teams. Here we have Virginia, who is currently third in their division, fighting for that second place that Arizona currently holds. And if they want to do that, they're going to have to win this map out. So this is really important. And just to note, this is Arizona State's map, so they will have to fight for it.
Yeah, and at this point too, like Villa is one of those maps I don't think we actually get to see all that often in this league as well. So definitely gonna see just how much both these teams prepare on this map. As you know, sometimes people just kind of always give out that plan of, you know what, we're gonna always be able to ban some like at least one map every single time, and it usually goes to the uncomfortable map. And a lot of people, it ended up being like maps like Villa. So actually being able to bring it out here and actually be able to see some of the play is, I feel like this is gonna be a little bit of a testament to how much each team prepares this map in particular.
Yeah, actually, an interesting tidbit. We just came from Cafe, which is the least banned and most picked map in Invite, to Villa, which is the most banned, least picked map. So it's definitely going to come down to which team has prepared more for this. Well, because it's definitely going to show. So first we have Virginia Tech banning Thatcher. Again, no more Thatcher. Going to see any play here this game. Arizona State's going to answer with a Hibana ban. Getting rid of one of those hard breachers is pretty commonplace on Villa. You usually don't see all Mav, Thermite, and Hibana on the board at the same time. And Arizona stands behind that. Arizona's going to answer with Echo as well, standard ban. And Virginia Tech with a very quick answer with Mira. Hibana is actually kind of an interesting ban. Usually you don't see Hibana banned on Villa because I don't know.
I could probably
Yeah.
give you a little bit of insight there. As Hibana, she's like the ranged hard breach. She doesn't have to enter a room. Not only that, but in certain setups of this map, you can impact trick off any of the thermite charges. And for Hibana, since you're able to so easily put it at the very, very bottom, it actually makes it just that bit harder to be able to impact trick stuff like that, and it ends up allowing you to just guaranteed open up a wall due to the way that you place her breaches. And without Hibana, it's going to be kind of stalling out the attack or the breaching coming in from both teams, and work out pretty well for them as well. And you already see here Jackal being brought out as a result. Gonna be able to look for the roamers on this very, very roamer friendly map, as there's just so many rooms to hide in. So Jackal definitely gonna be a very strong operator to pick here.
Okay, throwing me for a loop as well. Virginia Tech is going to be starting off in kitchen dining here. Usually considered a tertiary site, but it's looking like they want to throw Arizona State off their game here. That I definitely wasn't expecting it. I could see which site they were going. But yeah, like Keldav said, Villa is such a strong map for impact tricking. I believe every single reinforced wall can be opened above and can therefore be impact tricked, not only on sites but pretty much everywhere on the map. Here we see the laundry, the dining corner here being reinforced and benefited pretty heavily, suggesting that Steel's going to be playing pretty aggressively on that. They don't want them looted out just yet. And of course the roaming up top there just to try to stop the vertical play from coming back.
I just want to highlight as well here, Florian with the Valk shotgun. I actually got to see the last time this get pulled out, and I was sitting here thinking, I have to feel like that was a mistake, but the man proved me wrong, and I do believe the last time I watched this man pull the thing out, he ended up getting a triple kill inside this site. So he's definitely going to be confident going in this time, seeing if he can get the same setup going as he's going to be hiding within a tight corner and using that shotgun super aggressively.
Yeah, shotgun's not quite in the meta just yet, but they're definitely on the come up here. Being able to hold those close angles and really sit people down, especially with Valkyrie's. I believe it's the spaz. I don't see it too much. I'm not all too sure. But with that quick fire rate, being able to sit 2 or 3 people down very quickly in succession there, as well as rogue drones, quite easy. But already breaching pantry there, the thermite opening up right above pantry stairs, and Zerfon on the Zofia there is right there to back him up. It's actually going to be Bookshelf from Virginia to find the first opening pick. I believe that was from Astro's stairs there as he rotates back down.
Oh yeah, and he's gonna be taking quite a bit of health off of his body. But Alex also being taken down in a little bit of a trade there. Not too bad of a thing to happen, as the Maestro Cam gonna tease out a little lasers there. Not gonna quite catch Zerfon, and unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to catch it right back. And it looks like they will be going for a bit of a smoke play here as they start to play a little bit more aggressively. Jackal just peeking on down here, making sure that no one's going to come for the flank. Buck getting off of the drones and starting to be able to push a little bit more as he's helping out his team, try to give them some aid and assistance of where they are playing. As Bookshelf actually being the one to hide beneath and seeing if he's going to be able to catch a flank. As they see a bit of the Maestro start to peek out there, down goes Kirimer to Blood with the I believe that is the Jackal, and Florian's starting to feel a bit of pressure as the plant's going down by Bud inside of Kitchen there, and how they just have control site, and the sides have swapped, and 6 and Bookshelf gonna need to pull the back here as they retake site.
Yeah, but Fyro not really in a place where he can assist here. Is still outside of the map. Might have to try to push in here. 6 swings in, and well, now it's just Baka watching the diffuser all the way from dining. He will swing, and that's gonna be a nice lineup there for Baka as he finds the 2 onto Bookshelf and 6.
Yeah, really good push there from ASU. He really played their objective well as they breached themselves into pantry and used the area around the basement to allow themselves to get in and just push straight in after they took down I think that was Maestro there first. And you know, like that was just all around a really good push from ASU. Not really opting to play too aggressively on the second floor and just playing really hard on the angles that the first floor, optimizes on. And since they didn't really go to the other side, they never really had to deal with the Florian shotgun that as hard as they would have, and kind of allowed themselves to just fight him at a range where shotguns don't really excel the hardest. And then even if he does opt to pull out the secondary, that's a Desert Eagle, and that's generally not the most ideal weapon, as the recoil kind of messes you up, but at the same time, not the worst, since it is a pretty powerful weapon.
Yeah, ever since it got the muzzle brake, there isn't all too much recoil, but most pistols are locked to those iron sights, which just block a lot of view and can make them kind of hard to use, especially if there is any sort of recoil. You kind of lose where you're looking at. It can make it kind of difficult, and Virginia, after losing Kitchen, is going to opt to go back to Kitchen Dining once again, probably banking on the fact that Arizona State has some strong attack strats for Aviator and Statue. So they're just going to stick to their guns here and just keep going Kitchen.
And it looks like, yeah, they're going to be sticking here and really trying to see if they could pull off something big here. As generally speaking, you'd never expect someone to go to the kind of, the more infamously third site 2 times in a row. First time, sure, okay, catch me a loop, but second time, oh, now we're really into the spicy mind games of which site we're going to go to. Really use the power of all 3 sites being available and throw them for a bit of a loop of what setups they need to be bringing.
Yeah, it makes me kind of worried for Virginia Tech, actually. If they think that Kitchen is their strongest site, and, well, it's a tertiary site and usually considered one of the weaker sites, I'm kind of worried for them if they go Aviator or Statue. I don't know if they just don't have strats, or maybe they just feel better and more equipped to take Kitchen and defend it. Maybe they're just banking more on their roamers, but with the Jackal on the board not being taken this round quite yet, it's going to be kind of rough. But Parcel's going to be finding Bud down in cellar there, going to be taking a lot of damage for doing very little in return. Not quite the matchup you want to see there, especially IQ. If you cloak it all, she will be able to see you through the wall if her gadget is out.
Oh yeah, And at this point, ooh, Parcel getting hurt quite a bit here. As Six going to be holding down the basement, watching the angle. Parcel actually going to go down as Spiral blasts him through the stable. I actually think it's like a lumber mill there. I actually didn't even know that building existed. And Bookshelf going to be you catch anyone trying to enter, thinking that the Buck might play a little bit more aggressively here. Six still lurking below. Looks like they are going to be able to possibly catch some people onto the pantry side, as he does get Bud. Florin will take down Baka, and at this point, we're down to a 3v4, as both the Nomad and IQ get taken down from ASU.
And yeah, Fyro, this is a really good angle you're holding. You will most likely not get fragged off of that, but you're going to need to push in here and assist your team, or else they're effectively fighting a 2v4, which you will decide to be doing. He's going to move up very slowly, but Bookshelf is right there watching the window, and he hears him right outside of it. He's not going to move at all. And, well, Six is still below. He can still push up those back pantry stairs and flank the attack. But Bookshelf will be drowned out, and that's exactly what Six is going to do, is Fyro tries to jump in onto Bookshelf, and Bookshelf's going to punish him for that. With Valorian holding down sight, he's going to finish it up with a frag onto Alex. Virginia Tech redeeming themselves on Kitchen.
Yeah, definitely a really good operator to be playing in that position where you're one of the only few on the site. And then it ends up allowing you to just kind of be able to use the sound of the goo mines to kind of give yourself a bit of a web and allow you to just try to figure out more where the push is coming from and prioritize where you need to be looking at all times here. Really well played from the side of Virginia Tech that time, sealing that win for themselves. And it looks like we're going to trophy statuary, where generally speaking, we usually always see the aviator pick come in first and then trophy. Now we're actually just going backwards order here. Virginia Tech really trying to throw them for a loop.
Yeah, they're just doing the reverse rotation, which, I mean, they lost the tertiary site once, but then they won it back. So, I mean, so far we really can't tell, but I think it's working out for Virginia. I mean, 1-1, they're keeping it tied, but they do need to win this map out if they want to take second place from Arizona State. So they're going to have to step up their game a little bit, maybe bust out some crazy strats and Statue or AVG. They might just be saving their best site for last, Aviator. But I'm interested to see it if it does eventually come out. My guess is if they lose Statue, they're probably going to go Statue again and then go right back to Kitchen, because Virginia seems to be a Kitchen team, and well, they seem to be doing pretty good at it. Kind of interesting to note though, Baka on the Nomad has played it every round, and I haven't seen or heard an air jab at all yet. Actually, I'm not in the game, so he could have been placing him down, but the flanks from beneath pantry have been kind of sitting Arizona State down, so I'm not sure quite where Baka is placing those air jabs, but Arizona State is going to be taking that gridlock just to shut those flanks down as much as they can.
Yeah, I do remember from the side or the map of Cafe, he made sure to always put them onto the stair road. Oh my goodness, how are you alive, sir? You're just getting blasted all around you. Looks like he will secure it down. My goodness. I'm actually surprised he even take a single hit. But anyways, what I was saying before, he did put it down on the staircase of red, and I don't think any flanks really happened on that side, so it didn't really get to see too much action. But I'm not quite sure where he put the other two, as it does look like we're going to be pushing into Kitchen first. Jaeger going to be playing that side, going to get droned out and spotted, as now we're going to have Zerfon going to be the entry here, going in first, and Six trying to hold him down a little bit, as he's shooting from across, getting lit really hard, and also hitting Baka right back, as the gridlock going to get traded off from Viral and Parcel together with the power of Bookshelf being the sacrifice there, as Zerfon going to be taking down Six afterwards. Oh my goodness, all the kills are just going off on this side of the map, as down goes Parcel. Now we're just down to a 3v2, and we're not even at the main site yet.
Yeah, considering Cafe, it was like a 5v5 pretty much every round until there was a minute left. That's when bodies started dropping to this, where we've seen half of the players already removed before half of the timer is out. You could tell how much Virginia wanted to keep hold of the downstairs so that they could try to keep that wall closed and the bandit wires on, but in the end they just couldn't win it out as they were flanked quite extensively, and Bud, with his electronic scanner on his wrist, was able to remove those, and in turn, bedroom wall is going to be opened up here. For Lorian, though, is going to be peeking breach, but will be sat down by both Baka and Alex there. Two people shooting at him at once is never a good thing, and it's now down just to Kyramer. Ulda in his hands. This is possible, but it looks like he's going to be droned out. As you can see the tip of his head just over the desk, and definitely droned out. He's going to have to swing into Trophy. But Thermite's planting the diffuser, but it doesn't matter. Baka's over his shoulder, covering him, and that's another round for ASU.
I like how you can see the animation kind of just bug out there a little, where the entire cameras or the phone there in his hands just start wiggling in. And yeah, that round, like, it was really good on ASU to just devote all 5 of the attackers to flood out any roamers onto the kitchen side. Whereas I feel like if they devoted any less, that would not have gone as successfully as it did for them, and they would have ended up getting picked off, as that was 3 roamers downstairs placed, and that's just that's, in terms of defense, that's a lot of gunpowder altogether.
Yeah, so Virginia Tech is going to make me eat my words, and after losing Trophy Statue, will in fact finally be going Aviator Games here. I'm going to be showing the Velk, but it's going to 6 off of it onto the Goyo. Goyo's always a strong pick, just having those deployable shields to play off of, as well as the option to blow them and spread fire and deny pushes for a solid 10 seconds is always a plus side. I mean, I'm always down for some explosions.
As many bombs as they can.
Yeah, definitely an operator that's really good at just stalling people out. You're gonna be able, actually, there's actually quite a bit of strategy you can pull off with Goyo here, because you can give yourself that shield into the hallway, open up the flooring a bit, and then allow yourself to get a sight onto the front door entrance and prevent people from entering. Not only that, but since that shield's in the hallway, if they do take control of study, they're gonna feel a little bit more hesitant before pushing up into classical as well, as that shield's just gonna allow them to get pre-fired away if they do try to just rush it. And it makes the main stairs a little bit more important to try to take, so you can kind of push between angles. But like I said before, the vertical holes that you can pull off into that corner as well, gonna allow you to see into the front door, and it just makes it such a strong defense, that one corner alone.
Yeah, so actually, interesting note here. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they reinforced study from inside study instead of inside site, and that's actually because they're going to be relying very heavily on impact tricking those walls. Yes, they have the bandit, and he will be placing his bandit wires down right away, but without the Thatcher, if they're removed, they're going to be playing for those impacts. So because they're reinforced on the outside of the wall, if they were not, you could soft breach the wall, and then the exothermic charge actually sits inside of the wall, so the impact trick from above doesn't hit them. It's kind of a funky thing, but it's just one of those small things. But Bookshelf, watching 90 hatch below, is going to find Bud early, and that's IQ off the board. That's going to be pretty much ASU's only way of clearing those bandit wires off the wall, so they might not even need to bandit trick. Now it's just going to come down to probably Zofia using those impacts from below to open below those walls and get those bandits out of there.
And at this point, Florian going to be holding on to this top area, trying to get rid of that drone. He will get it out, but nearly at the cost of his head. Flashbang's getting thrown out, but that ADS is going to stop it. And completely, it looks like only one of them will get through, as there is only one ADS behind. He's going to play a little bit loosely behind the shield, making sure that if it does get soft breach at this point, he will not catch on fire. And you can see some of the shots coming out from below, as I believe that is Zerfon just shooting straight up, starting to see if he can snipe it out without needing to see. And in response, Bookshelf going to be dropping down the hatch from 90, going to be trying to see if he can actually possibly get a good flank here. He will onto Baka, and then he will retreat and take that to the bank there, as that's the Nomad gone. And at this point, that's going to force Zerfon over here to just play a little bit more panicked here and just start to find exactly where this roamer is, and prevent him from being able to pull off anything more. As at this point, the breach onto the wall just not looking like it's going to come out. They're going to try it one more time. Got to put it right on the very bottom there in order for it to stay alive. It looks like he will get the positioning right, but he will just get shot, as we got Herschel just walking into the room. Firehole going to be able to get the refrag, but the wall's still down. Now it's just Firehole left alive. He's going to have to make this good, and he's going to go for the revive, try to raise his teammate in time, but unfortunately, Florian going to just peek around the doorway and take him out.
Yeah, so I'm sure Virginia Tech's kind of stepping back and saying, "Hey, why didn't we start on Aviator Games?" Pretty uh that was a pretty decisive win for Virginia Tech there. Even though some of the bandit wires were removed, again, they had 6 impacts total to remove any sort of hard breach that went on there. And, well, you don't need to worry about impacts if you have someone just to swing into the room like Valorian did. He did get traded off right away, but they had the man advantage. You may as well take Thermite off the board for good. That's also another gun off the board. A pretty interesting pick coming out from Arizona State, the Dokkaebi, and I'm sure I'm about to eat my words. No, she's actually going to lock it in, choosing the Dokkaebi over the Jackal. So the Dokkaebi is really good at sort of widespread roam denial. It makes the defenders' phones ring very loudly, so you can kind of pinpoint where they are. But it's hard to do, whereas Jackal's foot scans directly puts a ping right on where the defenders are. It's definitely an interesting play from Arizona State. So they're still locking in that double flank watch there, the Nomad and the Gridlock, probably for that pantry push once again.
Yeah, for sure. And again, with the return down to kitchen, at this point, ASU is definitely expecting it, as I do believe we saw a full, no, not quite full rotation, but it did allow them to go here over the side of Trophy, in which case ASU did win Trophy, so they're definitely planning on trying to attack this one first, as they will start getting these similar setups again, going around the map. We'll see how ASU ends up making any adjustments onto how they're going to end up taking this, as, the defense could keep trying just about, I want to say, close to similar strats almost every single time. And for the most part, it's a lot of it comes down to, can you win the gunfights in these situations? It's a lot onto the attackers to be able to flex around what's going on in these situations, especially with, as we say, on and on and on and on again, defense-sided game.
Well, you can say it as much as you want.
That's a Boschy ACOG.
No, it's not. Oh my gosh, it is.
He is
what a legend.
He is actually about to bust it out and see if he get the nice glorious one taps onto his enemies, and it looks like we're gonna be getting a little bit of a spot onto this hole. Some quick peeks going out, not really quite catching the head, a little bit high there, as Baka's gonna try to see if he goes for immediate peek again and just start pre-firing it, see if he catch anything. Also, allowing himself to destroy the boards a little bit more and give himself a better visual on what he's shooting. His firewall looks like he's already in there. Alex already into pantry, gonna try to breach the wall here, flashbang over to prevent any bandit tricks, and quickly trying to find that location, as this is the spot where you would also impact trick as well, going for one more flash to just really secure that down, as he will try to breach it open, and it sounds like he does get it open as well, as Bud getting open parcels head.
Yeah, unfortunately not with the Bossy ACOG. It's going to be with that secondary instead, and she will quickly hack the cameras before running away, just as 6 misses her. Oh,
oh my goodness.
6 now, just some bullets being exchanged, and Bud is in a very dangerous spot here. It's going to be a smoke grenade going out, but it's going to land at his feet, unfortunately, just barely missing the drone hole. As it looks like ASU is a lot more spread on their attack here. They have a lot of presence Memorial as well as Laundry, but Firewall just pushes in and sits Florian right down as Alex and Baka both go down, as well as Zerfon there, as Bookshelf from above finds a nice easy 3-piece, as 6 there on his flank in pantry, also assisting him there. It's now all down to Bud and Firewall there. Firewall is definitely still on the board as he finds a pick onto Bookshelf, and the smoke goes down, probably going to try to cover the revive onto Alex there. His diffuser is down, but Firewall is just watching the last defender 6 run through the smoke and sit him right down.
Yeah, I feel like the flanks there really almost brought that back for VT, as he just was allowed to just walk up the staircases that they are coming from. And there wasn't really anything like a gridlock. It didn't look like there was anything from a gridlock or a nomad onto those areas, and it kind of just let them walk up. I have to question a little bit on the placement of where they are going here, and you see Bud bringing back the Dokkaebi as well. Now, if the Boschy ACOG is kept, I'm going to go ahead and say that he actually did mean to do it, but considering he ended up using the SMG-12 for a majority of that, I want to guess that he probably used that in either ranked or casual, and then just never realized he has to swap it back for this match, and not bringing that lovely DMR that generally people would take.
It is always a pleasant surprise to get a Boss G ACOG instead of the DMR you were expecting. But luckily, Dokubi does have two very good secondaries that, well, you saw Bud utilize very well that round. But here we're going to see Virginia go back up to
Defenders,
Trophy
protect your
Statuary.
bombs from
They
being
ran
defused
this
by
site once,
attackers.
and ASU did win it out. Villa, though, in contrast to Cafe, has been very much more back and forth. On Cafe, we've seen a lot of rounds that were chained together, and here on Villa, it has quite literally been 1-1. One Arizona, one Virginia. One Arizona, one Virginia. So, based on that trend, this should be Virginia's round, but it is Siege. Nothing is quite as simple as that, as Virginia does have the chance to adapt to Arizona's push,
10 seconds to go.
as opposed to what they did last time. Probably going to opt not to hold downstairs quite as
5
heavily.
seconds to go.
They did end up losing 3 of the defenders downstairs before the attackers could even
Objective
push
to
site,
locate bombs and defuse them.
but we're just going to have to watch and see.
Oh yeah. And the round's starting off now. The bandit trick getting kept here as well, as you said before. You need to make sure you rotate on the other side, as the lip of the reinforcement will be placed nicely so that you don't have to, kind of just throw it awkwardly as you would. Looks like we're gonna get a little bit of an 90 setup there, as if you do open up the hatch, get some cams on it as well. So they do opt to push towards study. They'll have the information and the angles to be able to help deal with it. As Zerfon looks like he's gonna be going a little bit more direct here, as that is right outside a trophy room there. He is droning out. There is a castle barricade on it, but he is Zofia. He could just blast it open. Right as Doc's around the corner, he's going to be able to hear it out. Will he go for the peak? Looks like he's just going to play a little bit more faster in the halls as he tries to shoot out some drones. Shots going on through the window now, giving out his position with the bullet trails. It looks like Zerfon just getting absolutely pressured out from both sides, as the crossfire is just getting shoved in his face, as well as it looks like we also have Castle just sitting on the other side alongside Florian on Astros area, trying to hold this out, as they do get smoked out a little bit. 6 also in the basement still. Seeing if they do opt to go for this bottom floor push like they did heavy last time. Doesn't look like they're going to be, as they have a lot of firepower just upstairs and slowly pressuring around the entire site.
That's going to be one exothermic charge that got impacted, and I believe that's the second one gone. Virginia Tech again brought 6 impacts to deny that wall being opened, and it's now denied. Their mine's completely out of exothermic charges, and I'm sure loads of utility was dumped over that wall to try to get it open, and without it being opened, it's going to be a little bit rough. But though, I'm pretty sure I just saw that DMR, so no Boss G ACOG anymore. It
There it
was, unfortunately, probably just a misclick from last round, but it's still a 5v5 here with just under a minute left. The attackers are going to have to try to start pushing. Is 6 on Astro Stairs, almost got a really nice pick onto Zerfon, but that phone call from Dokubi went out at the perfect time to relay his position out. Is Alex is going to be planning diffuser down, and Bach is going to be very, very low. Viral is going to find one with Zerfon with another, but 6 is going to answer back with a frag onto Zerfon. Alex on the Thermite taking off Bookshelf, and that's the castle off the board, leading it to a 4v2 in favor of ASU. But Virginia Tech can win this out, because ASU has a lot of very low health members, but Bud and Alex are not going to let that happen with headshots, because as we all know in Siege, a one-shot headshot doesn't care about how much health you have.
Yeah, as you can see here, this entire round was just ASU pressuring all around site, but trying to push onto every single avenue that they can, putting down a lot of pressure and causing the defenders that are anchoring to just start to feel the heat just that little bit more. And it ended up working out very well for them for the end of that split there, as now we are heading into ASU on defense here. So we're going to see quite a bit of different plays coming out here, as we already have the Maverick going to be able to see some light, as they're going to try to burn open some walls, especially when we're starting here on Trophy Statuary. That Maverick pick is actually pretty huge altogether, as it's a lot more safe for him to burn there than it is for him to burn inside of Study, as a lot of areas for the defenders just pop out of a doorway and start blasting. It looks like we will be seeing a Jaeger getting 6 picked here, as they are going to need some anti-grenades here, as we do have the Buck coming out with those powerful frag grenades. And honestly speaking, just such a strong tool if given to the right person.
it, I'm overall just really surprised at the lack of aviator games that we're seeing tonight. Last time I played, I thought aviator games was primary sight, but apparently the meta shifted just a little bit over towards the trophy statuary. ASU is going to start up here. Going to be trying, not quite bringing as many impacts as VT did, opting to bring just the 2. That's going to allow them to bring different utility, though. We see lots of barbed, 6 barbed, whereas VT only had the 2 for defending the site, just to slow the push down ever so much more. This Alex will probably be tricking that master bedroom wall anyways, regardless with those electro claws, so you shouldn't need all too many impacts. Also differently, ASU is going to look like they're going to be holding aviator here, as a lot of reinforcements are going up in Virginia. A lot of them spawn on that side, so they're going to have to try to push through this kind of mini defense over here in aviator if they want to get to site. Bud though, with the P90 already peeking studied door, he kind of can do that, because if he takes any damage, he just backs off and heals like he just did. Beautiful drone work and just kind of game knowledge from Virginia to spot that out before being fragged off there.
See, I like how Bud here is, like, you can clearly tell he's a guy who likes to have fun here. As last time Boschy ACOG, this time P90 ACOG. Like, he definitely is not afraid to take some different weapons that people wouldn't generally take, just to have that little bit more fun in and out of the series here. As we're going to be having Bookshelf, it looks like he's going to start lining himself up to get this Maverick wall burned down. But unfortunately, gonna need a little bit of his presence from his teammates to just pressure out the side of bathroom, prevent him from getting flanked that way. As Zerfon in the 90 corner hallways, gonna be able to hopefully stop out some of the aggression coming out from the other side of the map. But doesn't look like there's quite too much coming from there, as I do believe right now we're seeing a much more heavier master bedroom hold here, as the wall's just getting burned out, and we got a lot of Virginia Tech on the side of master bedroom, just making sure they can get that nice little footing there.
Yeah, still going to be burning open that wall. I don't believe it got open just quite yet, as Parcel's going to be pushing beneath. I believe she did get the electro claw from below, and bedroom wall will be soft, but now Virginia's going to have to dedicate some sort of soft breach to open that up, as you see 6 rotating over, and well, Buck with his skeleton, he is going to make very short work of that soft wall now. So Flash is going in. We still have 5v5. Like, this is a lot much more like we were seeing in Cafe, with 5v5 to the last minute, but Zerfon is going to change that as he finds a frag onto Parcel, but 6 is going to respond with a pick onto Alex. That's the Cade off the board. That TCSG is not going to do any more damage, but Bach is going to find a pick onto 6, and oh no, DeLorean is going to plant right next to Astro Door, leaving an easy pick for Baka, and Bud's going to find a pick onto Kyramer, and it's now down just Bookshelf, who is locked in bathroom. Bud watching his flank out from Master. Bookshelf trying to find the frag onto Baka, but just not placing the shots. And that's going to be round 7 for ASU, leaving it at 5v2.
Baka's timing there, which is so good. He managed to catch out 6 as he kind of left himself droning in a little bit of a compromised spot, as he was very visible from the Astro Door, and then immediately goes to peek the other side and admires the character model of Hibana for a bit as he takes her down while she's defusing. Sorry, it wasn't Hibana, that is Band Operator, so which one was that planting? I guess that's Thermite.
Yeah, it was Thermite.
Yeah, really admiring the character model of Thermite before he takes him down, and really well played and good timing from Baka there, as he just managed to kind of really win that one out from the side of Astro, holding it down and really using those angles really well.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, from all the way back round 1, Cafe, started this match off very, very strong, taking top floor very commandingly, almost looking like a professional team, and you can kind of tell that they're falling apart just a little bit here on Villa, as they're just getting a bit fatigued here, just not quite working together, just making a few little tiny mistakes which spiral into big problems. But ASU is going to go to Aviator Games. Not going to go to that tertiary site just yet. They're going to try to get another round for them on the board before they have to do that. Again, reinforcing study from the study side, so impact tricking is a little bit easier, as well as opting to bring a few more impacts rather than barbed wire this time.
Yeah, and you can see exactly here why ASU decided to pick this map, as they're showing a lot more comfort on it, as they've been doing really good on these attacks and defenses both. But not to count out VT entirely, because they have been doing some pretty phenomenal play here, as they've been just the kings of trying to play that kitchen site. They've been showing up some pretty interesting strats, and although some of them did not as all of them did not really work 100%, they still did for sure show how much more love they have for that site over the other, and it did work out for them in some ways rather than the later.
Yeah, and you can tell that Villa is one of those lesser picked maps. A lot of these like sneaky angles coming out, just teams didn't know about. You really can't do anything about that except drone it out, and even then you can only drone so much. But Virginia Tech already lots of presence below site here. Both IQ and Buck, operators that can just do massive amounts of damage onto site from either above or below. IQ being able to remove a bunch of gadgets, and Buck being able to remove a bunch of floor, but Bud is just allowed to push up main stairs here and take Maverick off from opening the wall. I don't even know if he started opening the wall yet, but just didn't have cover from his teammate there. And Parcel pushing up main behind the dock is going to find Alex the Cade and remove him from the game.
Yeah, at this point now it's just 4v4. They do have some hard breach on the side of Virginia Tech, but unfortunately not the type that could get rid of the... Oh my goodness, he's just really trying to ease himself in there without getting blasted from that shockwave. And unfortunately, will not be finding himself the angle. I'm gonna opt to just, you know what, let me just go somewhere else, because if I do try to go for this, it's gonna be super dangerous. I'm gonna be super exposed. I think this is the time where we just rotate, and here he comes as he's on the other side. Gonna be pressuring out this Buck, as he's gonna be trying to buck below the site and get rid of any of the stuff onto that default wall, and allow his team to be able to push as he is pushing up main stairs alongside the IQ here. Wall will get opened up, flashbangs get thrown across, Parcel taking down Bud. Zerfon will get that kill onto 6, and that's going to leave Parcel to have to watch the flank a little bit here. Florian and Krymer trying to focus more onto site, as Florian just deep in it and has to just sit here and try to blast through that nice breach and try to see if he can pick up Firewall. Won't be connecting any too many shots here, getting a little bit of a shock damage as he goes along. A little bit worried about his flank. I do believe that Kymer possibly might not have any air jabs left, as he did use quite a bit of them below. And now at this point, Baka trying to also help out Holden from that vault there, as he does try to see if he catch anyone entering. But we'll see if one of them tried to go pre-fire that side first. And one coming down Classical Hall. Will he get the shot? Yes, he will. Zerfon catching one. Baka catching one as they enter as well. Now it's just down to Valorian, but Florian will get taken down by Firewall. Really good work from there from ASU.
Yeah, even though that bar wall was open, Arizona State was not worried at all. You could tell from their player positioning. You had Maestro on bar, you had Jaeger in 90, and then you had Legion in vault. So Maestro and Legion had a really nice cross on the breach hole there, and Jaeger was just watching Classical Hallway, making sure that Maestro didn't get flanked, and they were actually sitting really good there, considering bar wall was open. They didn't have to worry about it because Legion had Goose on maps. So just beautiful play and team communication from Arizona State there to really set that up. In Virginia, also a really good call. They had the Buck and IQ below, but after they had study presence, they decided to bring him back up. Hey, bar wall's open. We don't need to push below anymore. Let's just try to hard push site. And unfortunately, they did that at just the wrong time, so that Zerfon on the Jaeger could kind of cut them off. And well, Bookshelf there is kind of done with Zerfon roaming, so he's gonna take the Jackal and try to get him out as soon as possible. Well, yeah, Jackal's definitely a good pick for the kitchen site. His basement is definitely running grounds for the defenders.
Yeah, and at this point, 6-2 for ASU. They are trying to just win this one more and bring it home for them. You're gonna be able to secure themselves the partial win, and probably also guarantee themselves the second place slot for their division. Everything is on the line for them here. And at this point, they're going to be trying to see if they can keep it going, and rather than bring it to a tie, which it's not ideal, but it's not also the end of the world. As I do believe that would still secure them the same position. And Virginia Tech trying to make sure they go out with the bang, trying to bring this all the way back 4 rounds in a row for themselves to take it to a tie overall. And you know what? I think they possibly could be able to pull it out here too.
I'm personally rooting for Virginia Tech right now. I want them to bring it back. After Cafe was such a close back and forth match, it's just they've burnt out here, and I want to see them bring it back. I want to keep going. I want to keep casting. This is the last game in this division until playoffs. So Virginia's really got to give it their all here and try to chain 4 rounds in a row. And this is a tertiary site. This is the site they could start gaining momentum to bring it back. And already Virginia, with what looks like some fire in their step here, is they already have top floor droned and they're pushing quite aggressively here. This is what we like to see. Already have it cleared out. They're going to try to clear up top so they can play the vertical plays here with a Buck and the Jackal with his secondary Ida shotgun, and just try to move the defenders around as much as they can. See Bookshelf here on the prowl for some footprints, but isn't quite gonna find anything on top floor because all of the roamers are gonna be in basement like Surfon here. They could rotate all the way up from basement to top floor from main stairs, but not quite yet. But it's gonna be Bud who finds the opening pick onto Parcel. I'm not sure where that was from. Please tell me that wasn't a bullet hole.
Yeah, it looks like, oh, actually the shots from Memorial up that little hole that you can see above the wall. I think all the way to where 6 is into Trophy. That is one of the angles I usually open as an attacker or defender to hold from above, but it looks like he's going to be doing the reverse and actually holding it from Memorial itself as they're going to be lobbing grenades at him, but the ADS is going to protect the Doc and keep him alive with that P90 ACOG, and he's going to, you see Bookshelf here, gonna be pushing into the back hallway, gonna see if he can enter himself into kitchen as we have 1 minute left on the clock. Gonna need to pull something out here as ASU's looking nice and good. Pyro gonna try to whip out that nitro cell to try to pressure him away from the door. Won't quite take him quite down quite yet, and allow him to be able to rethink that decision and see if he wants to take the Doc on instead.
Kyramer, though, is going to answer and remove Bud off the board from outside laundry, evening the odds just ever so much more slightly as he's trying to cover his Thermite, but Baka swings on him and finds that nice headshot. And, well, Thermite got the exothermic charge on the laundry wall, but he has to back out of there to blow it before he blows himself. You see some impacts from the Goyo going up, but isn't quite going to find the exothermic charge. But Bookshelf is going to find the headshot onto Surfon, and Valorian's going to find another onto Alex. This is Virginia Tech turning this round around, showing you that, hey, we're not out of this just yet. But Baka definitely is not out. He finds another one onto Valorian. It's now down to Firewall, and Baka against 6 and Bookshelf.
Still looking!
He's going to turn away just at the wrong time, and 6 is going to find a nice 2-piece to keep Virginia in the game.
Virginia, definitely the site for them to start their comeback on. As, oh my goodness, they kind of lined up there. Unfortunately, one of them kind of looking at the desk thinking that he wasn't that close up yet. And I think that the Legion, they're just kind of caught off guard since, when you look straight ahead like that, you see your teammate, you think, okay, cool. But then out of nowhere, he pops down, the enemy pops up, and unfortunately, the reaction time not as fast as it needed to be in that situation. 6 going to walk away with that one. 6-3 now, and we're going back to ASU's #1 defense pick of Trophy here. This one's going to be very much more difficult for Virginia Tech to make. Now, I do remember last time the Legion of Baka just managed to just pull off so much within Astro. So probably going to see a little bit more pressure on Astro, especially with the Capital being picked out here. Going to be able to fire out the doorway or anything behind the desk as well, and kind of prevent people from being able to sit too comfortably in any position they want to play. And oh my goodness, 6 pick off the Dock into Pulse. Going to be playing below and catch that nice mix-up onto the attackers as they may not be expecting it. And there is an IQ as well to kind of play that cat and mouse with.
Yeah, we haven't seen Arizona State bring a Pulse yet. We saw Virginia bring one, I believe it was Parcel who played him on Cafe, and played him very well, very effectively. Got a couple frags through the floor, as well as relayed loads of information to his team. But you got a lot to live up to here. but if played right, Pulse can be huge and completely change the way a round works there. And I don't know if any of you caught it last round, but
10 seconds
ASU is
remaining.
kind of getting a little too confident there. They were making some
5 seconds to go.
phallic-shaped punch holes in Memorial Wall. Maybe probably should be spending your time a little
Attackers
bit more
must
wisely.
locate and defuse
But
the
if you have a
bomb.
6-2 lead, you kind of you get a little aggressive. You do some things, make little mistakes, but it's okay. It's a tertiary site, but that could be the momentum Virginia Tech needs to start chaining some rounds together. So far, the only chaining that's happened has been from Arizona State, so Virginia is going to try to bring that back and turn it into their favor.
And Parcel already got control of Memorial. Gonna be trying to capitalize on that and allow 6 coming from below as well to get rid of any of those nice areas from above and allow that wall to get breached. But ooh, looks like we got Bud down here getting that intel off and with the pulse scanner as well. Not gonna be able to get a C4 from down here due to the brick being there. But at the same time, gonna be giving that intel to Zerfon, who's gonna be on the Jaeger, and he's been doing really good at it so far. And now, as you see, they're gonna be forced to pressure him off with the window control as well. And Bud not gonna relent and keep giving off that nice intel he's giving out. And I actually just realized too, he's also bringing the pulse shotgun. This man just loves bringing the guns that people don't like to bring too much. He is, and you know what? Actually, altogether, I think he's doing a decent job at it. Aside from the Boshi ACOG, which was only brought once, that P90 ACOG was doing some work altogether.
Yeah, kind of interesting play there. The attackers did
Bomb located
actually
by
drone
attackers.
Zerfon out, but they didn't drone Bud out. So I'm not even sure if Virginia knows there's a pulse. You don't see IQ looking down with her scanner. She's only looking up because, well, Bud did 6-pick the pulse. So this really could come back to bite Virginia in the butt later if they don't try to root him out. They know Zerfon's below, but they don't know that Bud's below with them as well. And with that cardiac sensor just providing the just copious amounts of intel, he's going to be able to push up pantry stairs just like this and spot out both attackers above him and in kitchen. And he's going to slowly push, going to take his time, not quite going to swing on anything too aggressive because he does have that shotgun. He is limited range-wise, but Bookshelf pushing into bathroom is going to find a freebie onto Alex, who has turned the complete wrong way. His Bud is still playing this very safe. Bedroom wall is going to be opened up by Felorian on the thermite. And Zerfon's going to be pushing up those bottom Astro stairs. He's actually behind an attacker right now, and Bookshelf is going to find a...
Oh my goodness!
But Zerfon with 1, 2, 3 on 6, Bookshelf and Felorian, and he's back on site, but he's got an attacker on his back. He's
There's the 4!
for Zerfon. He's looking for the 5th to make it an ace.
Oh, ace.
Hammer in sight, and that's an ace for Zerfon to close out the second map and close out ASU. That's
That's how you end a match. That's how you end a match right there. You get that nice ace as he goes for the flank up the stairs. As he said before, caught all 3 lining up with their heads and then just manages to punish them all after anything they try afterwards. Really well played from ASU. Really strong showing on this map. Taking that 7-3 onto this map. And that's going to be the partial win for ASU as well. And you know what? Now we get to the fun part of the interview time.
Kildab, I wonder who's
What's
gonna be in for the interview.
You know what? I feel like it's time I roll the d20 and take a wild guess out of the 5 here. Because honestly, I think showing every single member of ASU here just really showed a really good showing overall. Like Baco was just nonstop killing people from where he was playing, and also Zerfon just playing really, really well on that roam and really dominating from where he was playing. Alex was doing a pretty good job as well on Thermite, just blasting open the walls and making sure you got those objective plays. And Bud on the anti-roam and also the pulse at the very end there, giving out the information for Zerfon to capitalize on and figure out whether or not he wants to go in. That was just like ASU altogether played really well together, and I think every single teammate really showed a good standing overall.
Oh yeah, both teams really started with just really strong team composition, really good team comms. You could tell, but Virginia Tech just kind of towards the end, kind of dropped the ball a little bit. They just tired out. It is a long game. 2 maps in a row can go for quite a while. That's why we don't have overtime. But ASU was just able to keep that together and really communicate very well. which is why Zerfon could frag so much. And speaking of the devil, Zerfon, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, dude. It was a good day.
Yeah, I could tell you were having a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a cake right before in order to get all the sugar into my bloodstream, and then
All
had some
right,
juice after, so I know that I overdosed after this.
you gotta. I gotta know what type of cake.
It was Boston cream pie with chocolate on the top.
Hmm.
Sounds like a donut.
It
It does sound
basically
like a
is.
donut.
It's
Uh,
basically a donut that's just filled with custard.
Anyways, opposite of a donut was the amount of kills you were dropping because oh my gosh, you started Cafe just super strong with the Rome and then ending it with Villa, ending it with the ace. Were you calling for that? Were you saying, "Hey, back off, I got this," or
Yeah, I was screaming in chat that I want the ace and just let me do it. And they
oh,
said yes, and it happened.
All right, team, hold my beer. Let me go in real quick.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, three of the VT players basically lined up, which was unfortunate. I didn't even notice I got the third guy until I saw the kill feed right after it.
Yeah. I have to ask, on the first map, you guys were going back and forth nonstop. What do you think it was from VT that was really causing you guys problems from being able to just, win on the majority side?
Well, I mean, VT is a very good team, and they clearly have coordination. On our defense, their attack was very well coordinated. They had a step-by-step plan, and we just couldn't keep up with it at some times. And on defense, their roamers did do very good as well. We just had trouble clearing them out, as sometimes they just bring reinforcements, or they would just move to somewhere that we hadn't droned yet. And then after that, we get lost because they would just flank us again.
Oh, yeah. And after that map, did you guys feel more confident going into Villa, knowing that it was your map pick overall as well? Or did you think that VT possibly could have pulled the same thing and making it a double tie?
Yeah, well, we were definitely more confident in Villa, not just because we made sure to pick Villa because we already have a VOD of them against Akron on it. So I like around 30 minutes before the game started, I just made like a 3 or 4 page document of exactly what they're going to do.
Ooh,
And we literally predicted everything that they were doing. At one point I said, yeah, all five are going to start pushing from the south side. And they did because we were all just had the dock open on the second monitor and everything that they were doing. It was just we basically read them like a book because we literally had a book open next to us with everything they would do.
Oh yeah, the one blessing and curse of being on stream and also playing in this league is a lot of the matches are on VOD. So while you guys are also on VOD, you know what? You could also look at the other team that you're fighting and see, you know what? Let's go figure out these strats. Let me go see what they are. Do those notes and really capitalize on it. Really good job on you guys for doing that as
Thank you.
well. You got any more questions, Blue Card?
I, I'm tapped. I'm still in awe from that last round. Just really good gameplay from both.
Oh yeah. Actually no, I got one more question. So, Bud, we've been seeing the Boss GA cog into the P90A cog into the Pulse shotgun. Is that just a preference, or is this is you just trying to have some fun here?
It's a bit of both. What basically the way the P90 started was that we were just playing. I think I was ranked one day, and he just whipped out the P90. He's like, "Oh, I have it equipped," and he basically wiped out the entire enemy team. He's like, "If I just aim for heads, I win," and that's exactly what happened. Last year,
Yep.
ACOG, I mean, come on, you can do insane DPS, and Pulse was just because when you're playing under, you can just shoot them as Pulse through the floor, or once again when he's going up the, I think it was pantry stairs, you're gonna be close range, so you can just shotgun someone.
That is very true, and thank you for that amazing showing of a match. To both you and VT, both really strong teams, and really made it a really fun match to watch overall tonight. Thank you both.
Yeah,
And
VT's a very strong team, man. I want to see them in invite again.
oh yeah, for sure, me too. And I'd like to thank all of you out there also for watching for this match. And quick shout out again to our sponsors for CORSAIR, bringing in those keyboards and all the other peripherals into the prize pool, really making the competition a lot more lively and making people want to fight that extra bit harder to secure those RGB victories that they are able to pull off. And now at this point as well, we also have Rogue Energy bringing in some nice, a little bit of addition to the prize pool for every purchase made with code CEA, also giving you 10% off and revitalizing your energy as well. And last but not least, but what's new? As I said before, that lovely, lovely merch line is coming soon. Keep your ears open as we will give out some announcements when we can. and hopefully, I know I certainly love the designs. I hope you guys will love them too as well once those get announced. And yeah, thank you all for tonight. I've been Keldev. We got Kazer here with our lovely spectating, and of course, Blue Card.
It's been a pleasure. I hope to see you guys soon. Stay tuned. We got some more games coming up next week. But until then, stay safe, wash your hands, and watch the
See ya.